Jonah.
All right. How's it going, man? So we got a good chance to watch your video a couple times, as well as go through your channel and get to know you.
Lots of videos.
Yep. Saw you're in Seattle. Yes, we're in Portland. Come down sometime.
Yeah, we got meetups. Yeah. He's not in the class, though.
No, not in the class.
Oh.
All right, so this will be fun. We're gonna hit you real hard on the front end.
Yeah, you're going to hate this. You're going to I hate this.
Yes.
Not ESFJ.
Yeah.
No.
Not even close.
Not even close.
All right, so let's give you a rundown of what we're doing. So you're not in the class. You're kind of watching us on the YouTube, which is not, the YouTube is kind of the side, public. It's a show, right? So our stuff, what we're doing is very different than any of the other groups out there. You're
gonna fucking hate it.
Yep.
Because the thing is, here's the reality of what we're doing. We are not playing the I can type somebody by looking at them, bam, done. Hell no.
Same game you're doing, everyone else is doing. It's the old style subjective game.
We used to do that, and we thought we were fucking awesome, and we thought we were gurus, that we could just feel somebody's type and just know their fucking type.
And then go argue with everybody and debate and convince them.
Which is why, by the way, you hate the typology community, because everybody's doing that. It's just my word against your word, and fuck you, right? Hell nah. The only thing that got us out of that same bullshit racket was to play an objective game. That is our game. So the only authority that we have, because we're a bunch of fucking psychos too, right? The only authority that we have is that Dave and I consistently can get the same exact number out of 512 while being in the opposite rooms, away from each other, watching videos.
Did you get that? That's it.
That's it. And by the way, it took us years to get out of our own subjective bullshit minds to get to that place. Years. Fucking years. Because I feel their type, you don't even know.
There's no way to prove or disprove that.
No.
So like everybody will roll up on somebody and go, I think they're this, I think they're that. Let's talk and debate. And it's just a big circle, right? And so the only thing that we can appeal to is that we are subjective interpreters as well.
Yep.
We're looking at a person and going, I'm taking in these observations and I'm thinking that they're this type, or this type, and I'm putting down my guess. And how the hell do I know what type they are, right? And so we're just leveraging statistics. We're taking the scientific method and going, okay, Shannon and I are doing this independently. So when I say this guy's type number is 139 out of 512,
right?
How the hell, who cares? The only thing we have that nobody else has is that statistically, her and I are getting the same number as each other. So when I get 139 and she also got 139, that's a 1 in 512 chance that we got the same. That's interesting.
And
Could
all
have been a lucky
proves
guess.
Is that over time, we have pushed ourselves to see the same recurring patterns that are happening in reality in other humans.
So here's the bad news.
That's it.
Here's the bad news for you. When you disagree with absolutely almost everything that we say here,
you'll hate it.
There's nothing we can do. You can't email us, you can't call us, you can't come talk to us and convince us, because like, what are we supposed to do? Like,
reference, disclaimer.
Yeah, we're already ready for you.
It's not our job to prove or convince you of anything. Here's the full disclaimer.
We're tied to the data. We're tied to the numbers. It's like, hey, look, dude, these are my observations. I wrote down this number. I got the same or not the same as Shan, and that's it. The only thing we can do is say we have a person that goes, I don't agree with these results. That's fine. That's understandable. Right. Maybe we got a lucky guess and got it wrong, which does happen, by the way.
Right.
Then the only thing we can do is go, when we have 2 more operators trained, then they can independently type you or that person.
Which gives you more statistical probability and still, fuck you, nothing more than that.
That's all we're leveraging off of.
But that is what we appeal to. Whether you do that or not, I don't care.
Most people will get that in 2 seconds and they just go right back to, anyways, let's argue.
Prove it to me.
No, this is not about.
No, we won't.
Yeah. Also noticing too with your videos and stuff, the terms that you're using are very different from our terms. So we're not going to have the same conversation here. What you're defining as such and such terms on these functions is very different. And so you're welcome to define whatever terms and see whatever functions as whatever you want. It's just that we don't use those definitions because we cannot get consistent results with each other if we're defining things that way. We're just saying, the way we are defining terms is coincidentally what we're using to get the same number as each
exact
other.
results. That is how we did it.
I'd also reference at the bottom of our page, there's a mission page that then opens up, and then there's some pages in here of subjective versus objective. That's definitely worth...
We hammer on that pretty damn hard.
That's, honestly, buddy, this is the world that you're stuck in right now, like hardcore in this world right now.
Right.
And then also, let me hit the back button here. This one here gives
what we're all about.
Gives a breakdown of the different approach that we took.
Right.
Because science was saying, hey, this subjective thing that you're stuck in, that everyone else is stuck in, that we were stuck in, like seeing the larger picture of what that world is about and the fruit of that harvest that you're eating, what that leads to 10 years from now, what that leads to 50 years from now. You just burn yourself out. You're arguing with idiots. For what?
And you're not getting any results in reality. Like, our goal here is that by telling people about their demon functions, by the way, that when putting pressure on those demon functions and dialing the fuck down on your savior functions, you can actually get somewhere in reality towards an objective goal. Otherwise, you're just spinning in circle and your savior's going, this feels good, I'm now depressed. This feels good, I'm now depressed. This feels good, just spiraling downward. What the fuck are you going to do with that? Nothing.
Yeah.
It's worthless. So, there's our fucking punch.
There's our front end punch. So now we'll go through the checklist of, from our perspective, of how we're doing it. So we're sitting in independent rooms, going through this, and again, these are just our observations. So when I'm watching your video or anyone else, I'm going, all right, I'm looking at these binary coins, kind of like some of these stuff we cover on YouTube a little bit.
Right.
And again, this is just my interpretation of what I'm seeing. The only reference we have for authority is that statistically it's the same as Shan, and that's where it gets interesting.
By the way, we got your exact same number.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
And by the way, we know a lot about your type.
Yeah, we have. We'll show you other people we have typed.
Which you're also going to hate.
Yeah, you're in for a real treat.
Oh, this is good.
So, S for Savior.
Yep, you got that.
S for Savior.
Your life is definitely about controlling chaos.
So, either an IJ or an EP. And so we're looking for consistent patterns that the person, let's just say use the person, right? That a person may or may not be aware of. Like, so we're not tracking what you fucking say or what you like. Oh my God, all the horseshit.
What you feel about yourself.
No, all that is most of the time at scale, it's bullshit. Like, what the hell does somebody really know about themselves?
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
So we have to track, if I'm tracking that surface level shit, then I'm going to get it wrong off of Shan because she's not going to be doing it. She's not going to be falling for the bullshit, and therefore we're going to get wrong numbers. My goal is to get the same numbers as her. So I saw consistently that there was a pattern there that I knew Shan would see as well, that when it came between self and tribe, there was a very good relative balance. Even when you got to the point where it was like...
My family feels this about me. I don't like that. That kind of sucks. They thought this sucked about me. Oh, well.
Right.
Oh, well.
Right. There was a relative balance between self and tribe.
Right.
And then the
reoccurring theme of, oh my God.
Right.
You changed the question.
The harder challenges was the information.
Information.
Control, chaos.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was where there was kind of the spikes that were tracking the kind of the states of things are getting hard or frustrating for the person on things versus people.
Right. We have a pretty good database to pull from. So it's very fascinating to see like this giant group of people. We have over 2,000 people typed that we have objectively come to the same point and conclusion on. And when you see the people on this side, the patterns are just extremely consistent. They'll even use the same wording, which is so bizarre. And even when they know personality shit, they'll even say it in the same bullshit ways. Like, yeah, it's amazing. It's staggering.
It's as if we've watched your video probably 20 times from 20, like the things you're saying and how you're saying it, like word for word, especially with the people in your exact same type.
Which you're gonna hate.
It's just
that you're boring.
It's like you're faking it. It's like you're like, how can I get to be a cookie cutter routine of exactly like the other people?
That's gonna drive him nuts.
It's like you called these other people and just copied their list without anything new. It's very weird. You only see this at scale. Like, it's really weird. It's really weird. And it's all same with my type, her type, everybody.
Oh yeah, the people of my type are just as psycho as I am.
Yeah.
And the people of his type are just as psycho.
Yeah, in the same way, saying the same stupid shit.
Totally. It's funny. It's hilarious.
It gets really weird.
This part I think he knows, or he was slightly knowing, but like not putting the sensory together of it. But like, yeah, dude, totally.
Self above tribe.
Yeah, to hell. And what do we fucking mean by that? This is somebody that does this is constantly asking the outside world what to do and if it makes sense to them and is this real to you before they're ever allowed to build on their identity or their understandings ever. Like this guy is like, how do I know who I am? How do I know who I am? How do I know? And this guy is like, get off me. I know who I am, which is definitely where you punch a lot.
Yeah, going,
a lot.
I have my point of views, I have my understandings. I then want to go out after I have this solid first and then go beat on the tribe and see if I can get these to match up with the tribe. And the self above tribe is the other way around.
Right.
So like, I got to take everyone else's opinion. I got to get a consensus. Then I'm allowed to have my own point of view last. And you're going the reverse.
Obligation. Oh, yeah. By the way, like savior functions. What the fuck do we mean by savior function? These S's mean savior. Savior function. It doesn't mean that you like it. We are not tracking that. I don't give a fuck if you like it. It's hard for you. Blah, 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 blah.
You're aware of it.
It's an addiction. It's responsibility. It is God. And you don't even know it's God because it's God. Everybody knows that this is God, right? That's it. And what you are peacocking and like you don't even know I'm so good at and like also I hate this, get off of me, shoving it off of me, that is demon. So like demon, when you are doing something of your demons, it's like in a positive state, you'll peacock and be like, you don't even know I can do this amazing thing. And then also most of the time, 90% of the time, you're like, get off me, get off me, get off me. I am not responsible to do that.
Yeah, just think about it. Like, think about it simply like the nerd in school. Like, we talked about this on the YouTube. Like the nerd in school is going to be peacocking. Well, no, I'm really athletic. You know, the EP, the chaotic EP is going to be going, no, I'm really organized. No, let me take this information and twist it and manipulate it to somehow mean that I'm actually organized, even though they're a chaotic freak, right?
Right.
And so everybody is naturally going to be doing that. People aren't starting off with, yep, I'm an IJ. I over-control everything. My life is nothing but a known information box.
No one is proud of their fucking saviors.
Very rarely do people, it's usually after they're at a very broken state, are they like, ugh, this is...
I really do this.
Yeah, just they're beaten down and they're like, yes, this is... It's almost like people at a life crisis where they have, you know, older in their late 30s, 40s, where they have seen themselves run themselves through this merry-go-round enough decades that they finally can stop and realize what the hell they're doing to themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next one. Can I just do oh my God.
Yeah.
No, you're not an IJ. Oh my fucking God.
If you want to define your terms however you want, go ahead.
You are not, like, yes, an EP will swing to be controlling. Nah, dude.
Right.
You are a gatherer, like you saw, like you were talking about. And what was driving you nuts about the questions? It was that they were controlling you. You got it. Like you were saying that. I'm like, there it is. Yes. You don't want to be boxed in. Let me be free. Freedom is the words of the EP. Free.
And here's where things get interesting, is where it's so obvious that he's obviously gathering and organizing as a demon.
Yeah.
That's like the strongest thing that we see on all of his videos consistently, no matter the time, the state, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like everyone is free to then take your own interpretation. You're free to take your own definitions and your own interpretation and go, no, that's really organized and here's why. Go ahead. Where's your partner? Where's your data set?
Right.
Where's your objective? Who are you going to tell? What are you going to now do? Go on the forums and argue with everybody and convince them? So what? Nobody cares.
Great.
So it's like...
What are you spending your time on?
Right.
Are you spending... Like, if you even knew how controlling the IJs actually are, they spend their whole time controlling things. Like, the list that you saw with the questions that we had, do you know how long that took the controller in the house? Just days, weeks, months. Like... The amount of time the IJ spend on narrowing shit down, blocking out anything new, controlling the shit out of just... no, dude.
It's like, are you a cop or are you a robber?
That's it.
Are you somebody wanting to take the outside world and say, put on limitations, close the gates, burn the books, eliminate it down, get in handcuffs, narrow, control. We need to master this same known information.
Nothing new, never anything new.
Eliminate new. Or God damn it. Think of some new chaos over here, this fucking printer. Or is it great information, but we need to gather in more and understand more and look at things from different perspectives. And then we're also looking for the swing. You know, if this is savior observer, if we're looking at that right, the savior gatherer.
Savior gatherer is going to swing and be weirdly controlling in a, let's reference this information down here, oh my fucking God, demon state.
Just peacocking, organizing to hell. I'm good at organizing and I'm an IJ and I'd like, oh God damn, see this in a million times.
By the way, almost everybody of your type that has come our way thinks they're an INTJ. Just so you know.
That's very true.
Yes. Consistently. That's a consistent, boring, reoccurring pattern.
Yeah. You know, the Dario Nardi effect. Just classic. You know, this out-of-control gatherer. I'm an IJ.
I know, you're like, what?
In fact, I think I'm a sleep IJ.
I know! Like, God damn it. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to fucking hate this, Jonah.
It's pretty crazy.
No, you're not an IJ. And by the way, every damn EP thinks they're an IJ. And by the way, every damn IJ thinks they're an EP.
Again, reference subjective, objective. Like,
you're supposed to. That's how the brain wiring works. It wants to be seen for what it's weak at. It's just default brain wiring.
You are in a very organized, boring, classic case of drowning in subjectivism. Just classic case of it. And we kick your ass up and down because we've been there.
Yes.
We've done it for years. We know what it's like, and you're such a great guy that has got so much knowledge, understanding.
That's the reality.
Like, if we didn't like you, we'd be like, hey, and we just kind of go through your shit.
We'd lie to you.
Yeah, we'd lie to you.
That's true.
But we're like kicking your ass of like, oh my God, get the hell out of subjectivism.
Right.
Get some kind of bolting into the ST reality.
You got to get down to the fucking physical dirt, boots on ground. You are in La La Land, dude. Get on the ground so you can get some traction there.
So this is where, like, him and I are both NFs, right? So I'm NIFI, he's NEFI. And so it's this valuing something in the abstract world. It's what him and I are both doing with this personality stuff. We see this something that we really value. We love it. We like it. We see there's importance to it. Therefore, we'll use our thinking to figure out all the logic. Right. Why? Because we love it. There's value. It's worth something.
Yes.
But then it's also something abstract. We're not looking at taking apart Toyotas and selling that in the physical.
No.
We're looking at this abstract.
Whole vibe world that you love, the personality community. By the way, like, I know you won't do this because you don't have Savior control or savior sensory, but go back through your video that you sent us and count how many times you say, I love, I like, my passion, I hate, like FI, and it's fucking masculine. Just punch, 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 punch. Just your whole damn video.
Yeah.
FI, FI, FI.
So,
FI, FI.
like, this is... Everybody is subjective. Everybody's trapped in their own world, making their own rules, trying to appeal to themselves, and running around and arguing with everybody else, right? The NFs, again, statistically speaking, clustering on a large data set, the NFs typically be the worst at this, right? Generally speaking, because they're already trapped in this abstract world and just valuing stuff that they love. So they don't have that authority to thinking or the sensory facts, right? For us, where things really turned around the past few years was running towards science, going after all of the Myers-Briggs critics and going, what is their problem with the personality stuff? What is their problem with Enneagram? What is science's problem with this stuff? What is the ST? And then realizing that they're explaining, like we have on our page there, of like how this subjective pseudoscience relative, well, this makes sense to me and I know it's like, who the hell are you talking to? Who are you appealing to? Like, the thing that really got me, this is where I value abstract something, is that when I saw, oh my God, in 100 years, this is all over. This doesn't matter.
That's what started really, changing.
That I could be the best goddamn personality guy in YouTube, and then when I'm gone, who cares? Same with Tony Robbins. Who cares? It's all gone. It's all over.
And like, that's on that homepage too, the subjective versus objective. We talk a lot about like, what ends up happening is you're like this magical guru. Good for you. I figured out what type you are. And then then you die and you leave nothing.
Right.
And fuck you. Like, thanks for nothing. You just palm read somebody and you're done.
Yeah.
That doesn't last.
The opposite coin of the NF is simply the ST. So it's like, we've got to get this into physical reality because like I know honestly, and you know that like a lot of the patterns that you are seeing are fucking real. You can look at my video and go, Dave's an INTJ. Like, yes, you can kind of figure this stuff out and have it like hit half the time or whatever the percentage mark is. So like, why not? If there really is something here to this stuff, why not push it? Because, you know, do our demons, that's why.
Yeah.
Push it into the ST and follow what the scientific community has been aggressively saying for fucking decades, and make this somewhat scientific and objectively trackable. And that's why
it is possible. That ST is possible. It's possible. It's going to fucking suck. It's really hard, but it is possible. And it is so worth it, because now when we die, we're pushing that this goes beyond us.
Right.
There is objectivity happening here. And the more we can push for bringing it into the light, onto the ground, boots in the dirt, the more it's going to last the test of time and legitimately help people.
Right. So what we cover in our classes and stuff is like, I mean, what you can do at home is like, take where you've started as really understanding these patterns and stuff. And if you could get a partner that you could work with, and then put yourselves in separate rooms and start typing people independently,
it's eye-opening.
The first several months, you guys are going to be off most of the time. Yeah. No matter how good you are, you're going to be disagreeing all the time. Then you go back to the lab and go, all right, why did you type this person an ISTJ? What were you seeing? Because I got him as an ENFJ. What was off here? You go back, you redefine your terms, you understand it more, and then you try it again. Or then go like, let's start trying to type everybody. Like, let's just get what's their human needs? What's their temperament? Let's start easy, right?
Simplify so you can win and build.
Scientific method. And then you just repeat this process just for hundreds and hundreds of reps with your partner as you're just failing. And then slowly it starts to improve. I mean, that's what we've been doing. So we've already proved that it's possible.
It's possible.
It works.
It took us years. Maybe it'll take you less time. It took us years. And we finally getting to the point where it's like, oh my God, we can share this with others, because now we're actually bringing operators on board. That's our next goal.
Somebody like yourself, like that you've got a lot of natural talent for this, you would probably be better at it than we were, or than we are, just naturally.
Plus, we do have a lot of the frameworks of how to communicate about what patterns are reoccurringly happening in reality.
Yeah.
So, the ST.
So, yeah, the ST, I'll put a D for demon. That, there's a lot to unpack here, but it's like
reporter, news, news reports.
Are things factually real in the sensually world? You can have all of this stuff that is very abstractly true to the self,
right?
But does it really matter? Is it ESTJ? Is it ISTJ? Is it actually physically real?
Cop talk.
For everybody in the whole world to come observe that data in the sensory and see it and agree upon it. And this is what, mass-produced cell phones, mass-produced cars. This isn't somebody's valuing concept abstractly in their garage that they just made for themselves. They've actually physically made this at scale, and that's when things really become real. And that's been the divide for personality types in science for so many years.
Absolutely. So you have the two that actually creates consume, the OI and the DI, or OE and the DI, that creates consume. So that's a given right here. It's just learning, taking in, learning for, do I like this? It's going to be very focused in on what you like, because it's for the internal decider. For you, that's FI and NE. So yes, you definitely have this as Savior 1. Those are your Savior functions. They combine and they create your first animal function. It's basically actions. We'll talk about those more in just a little bit. And then this one, doing, expending energy to hell. This is you. This is your second one there. So this is you. Overgathering, and you want to do something with it. And that's what's so obvious. It comes out in all of your speech patterns there. So, yep, Savior, this. And what is so interesting about this, happens almost every single time, is those that have sleep last as an animal usually will come to us and think that they possibly have it first.
Almost always.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Anyways.
No matter what the type, no matter what the Myers-Briggs type, no matter what the function stack, people that have the sleep animal last, I'm not sure exactly why or what the hell they're seeing, because everyone else is like, oh my God, you're a manic, ADD, out of control, extroverted person. They're like, no, man.
I think I have sleep first.
I'm double introvert. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I wonder if that's something that is like, I'm always tired. and they think that that's what it's about because they are running themselves off a cliff. That's what we see with your type in particular, running themselves off a cliff physically. Like, doesn't put on the brakes, doesn't put on the brake pedal of life.
It does seem to be more than classic peacocking. It seems to be like they're, like, it's not that they're peacocking, it's like they actually believe that. They actually think it. They actually think that they're double introverted. I don't know if they're like looking at the swing of they're running around like crazy extroverted in the outside world, and then there's this deep swing to this deep inner world that's demon and double introverted, and that's what they're remembering.
I don't know. I've been talking to Paul a lot about it.
They're just so unconscious when they're like, think about, just sorry to interrupt you, like think about, is she, if you were to record, like, is she aware of like how much of a 4-hour conversation that she's just dominating the whole time?
No,
like,
they have no idea. Completely non-self-aware is what it seems like.
Yeah, well, because it's
sleep last.
Sleep last, non-self-aware.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we start to sleep energy that.
Yeah. Like,
here we are using sleep energy to stop. You stop. It's like a brake pedal of life. You stop and you go, let me take that in. Let me process. Let me preserve energy for next time. It's a put on the brakes, brah. That's what that
Jonah's got no put on the brakes, no stopping and processing. It's go, 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 go. Hey, I know what we could do. Let's go, 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 go. Hey, I know what we could do. Let's go over here. Then go, 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 go.
And when you do stop, it's this. You're still taking in. You're still either even like, consuming some way, physically, mentally, abstractly.
The lead sleeps are like, they don't need to read a book on meditation. They don't need to read a book on going on long walks at night for 2 hours in the dark, quietly, just with their own thoughts.
No, just go do it.
That's what they're naturally doing. They're people with lead sleep. It's like, hey, you need to get them out of that deep inner quiet world where they're just literally in the dark, just processing.
Not taking in any new information, not wanting to gather any new, stopping, putting on the brakes, going, ow, I got hit. I want to never let that happen again.
Yeah.
Let me go over the same exact information so I can process it over and over and over and over and over again until I can figure out what happened there so I never let it happen again.
That one thing that we do see, Jonah, because my brother is actually the exact same type as you. And it's going to be impossible for you to like put in an hour a day of real sleep energy.
Right.
Of like legitimately just sitting.
Your brain will start just ADD, getting distracted.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a fruitful endeavor to just sit there for an hour and just process your own thoughts in the dark.
Right.
It's just not going to be realistic, right? So what has helped my brother and I've seen other people as well is having an extroverted way to go around full circle.
Talking
so be able
it
to
out.
take something in, to go do something, go to the library, go to the coffee shop, talk with somebody, teach it, engage, do the, like what you're doing now, discussing with people and arguing and settling out. Because it's through that extroverted process that you get these aha moments of like, oh yeah,
learning about your own self.
That is what I believe. Let me do actually hold that down.
Right. A recommendation I always give to those that have sleep last is to do consistent, here's the key, consistent videos or audios of your own self, processing your day, processing your week, figuring out what is going on in your life, and then listening to it back and just going over it and going, okay, I'm saying the same shit. I still haven't solved that. Oh my God. But you're going through that whole loop of all the animals to get that out. And then you can watch yourself, and hopefully you'll watch it more than just once. Watch it quite a few times so you can get that triangulation. You can get that outside perspective. So you can start looking at yourself from as if you were someone else.
Yeah.
Getting that, oh my God, why am I saying the same shit over and over and over again?
Yeah, before you move on, one side note on that, Jonah, like we've seen consistently people on YouTube over the years, that regardless of the type, that they've all had a lot of self-awareness from YouTube. Like you've got a really good YouTube channel going, right? I would recommend, like if you want to do like the self-awareness thing, right? Is like the editing process. Like everybody hates to edit, nobody has time, right? But like, for me, over the years, it's just to see how much of a douchebag I am, a know-it-all, just all the racket, like, and to be able to work on those areas to some degree. Like, I can't tell you how much of it has come from the editing room. When I'm sitting there watching hours of my own footage.
What am I taking out? And then why is that ever making it in? I want to edit that in my personality before it makes it to video. And that starts helping you realize what about you is uncomfortable.
Even today, I got to record a batch of YouTube shows, and it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to sit down and record it. It's going to feel...
And edit out all the douchebag.
It's going to feel awesome. I'm going to think it's awesome. I'm going to record it's awesome. And then I go to edit the next day. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm such a douche.
I have to chop, edit it.
Because you talk slow.
Yeah, or whatever the hell, you
Yeah.
know? Anyways, the point is, like, what she was saying earlier, we're seeing at scale, again, looking at the realities of the outside world, right? The facts that we're seeing out there is that when people have some kind of situation that where they can do videos and even watch them back to themselves, especially if they can edit it, because then you're making these decisions of like, that was
Totally.
bad, stop doing
Totally.
that. That was good, do more of it, right?
God damn.
That repetitive process really helps a lot.
It's really working for people. I'm watching so many people going through this process and they're like, okay, this is really helping. And it's changing their life. See, that's how you know. You get fucking reoccurring results when you go after your actual goddamn demons.
That's why this type thing is so right, because if we were to send you off a cliff, we would tell you, you're an IJ.
Go
and
control less.
go consume more and try to limit time alone and get out there
Jesus
and do more.
Christ.
Run yourself off a cliff.
Yeah. Fucking A fuck. All right. So, yes. Oh my God. Savior this. Savior. What the hell?
Yeah.
Savior this. That's you, bruh.
Yeah.
And then.
Go on.
Go on. Nope.
That's
Nope.
not the right setting. Oh, yeah, it's at 90s, right?
Cool. Yeah, and then this is your cat energy. So you are good with being able to debate, quote unquote, but in a like, hey, I'm okay with being wrong. Like, you're not necessarily going to be a punchy, aggressive, dog biting asshole about shit. That's coming from this function. You're going to punch with your fucking FI. This is my values. This is my morals. This is my, passions.
I'll debate you on the reasons all day long, but I won't move on what I see as the priority.
Which is why you're going to hate this.
Yeah.
Hate, masculine, pissed,
Yeah.
I'm frustrated,
A
FI.
lot of this stuff's not going to make a whole lot of sense to him just not being in the class. This is,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
sensory
You're not going to get any of that. But yeah, you can read the homepage all you want.
Yeah.
That'll help a little bit. So you're right. Yes, that one.
Even out of the ENFPs,
You're
the
an extroverted.
most extroverted.
Not the most, because there are any TEs.
True.
So,
Right.
but Jesus Christ, dude, not an IJ.
Not even close.
Not even close.
And not an ESFJ. Also not even close.
Not God, FE.
That's
That's just ridiculous.
The cognitive type guys, they're great. They're a bunch of really smart people over there.
They are.
But they've fallen down the same trap as everybody else. They're in the same subjective thing of like, they're just doing the best they can with the data that they got, and it's still one person's opinions.
Whose word says, oh, I went and I watched them, and me too, and then we came to an agreement. We talked about it and we agreed. Fucking A.
One side note on that, Jonah, like we talk about this in on our pages here. Like if you were to go back and actually read these on the mission page, like we just a side note on this real quick. Like when we were doing this stuff, the same as everybody else, same thing you're doing now. This was back in 2010 and 11. When we're like, what's the big deal with this objective stuff? Like we know we're right. I can just type
Totally.
somebody and I just
We
the
did
same
that.
rack of shit you're spewing.
That's why
right?
we're so aggressive against it. Like,
So
we care, we understand, but
we first did this two separate rooms thing, and we're like, how hard could this be? Because we agree on people's types, but we had no idea
how much
that
was happening.
Like for example, somebody would come, like Crystal would come over, and we would get to know Crystal, and then we would sit around and go, what type do you think Crystal is? And we go, oh well, I think this and that. And
oh,
we
I
would,
can see that.
we would come to an agreement, and we think like, oh no, we're unified.
We got the same type.
We
No,
saw
you
this
damn
on
didn't.
the NT support guys channel. They're friends of ours.
Yeah.
And they were doing the same thing where they would all, it was like a Ouija board. They would all sit around and like have little subtle inputs and typing somebody all together. You have no idea how much you're influencing your partner. Then you put your partner in the other room.
Go in a different damn room.
Oh my God. And so the Voltology guys, the cognitive type guys.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They're great guys. We
They're not
respect
sitting
and like
in
them.
separate rooms independently.
There's just no way.
No, they're not doing that. They're, we all agree that this is, so it's the same.
There's no way
old-
they're doing it because we know how abusive that process is.
Yeah, knowing how they're doing their stuff.
Yeah.
So
It's not
they're going to
easy.
get the same inconsistent hit and miss results. Same thing you were mentioning earlier. Yes, the biggest problem we're seeing is what you mentioned in one of your videos is that the personality community cannot agree with each other. And that's the point. They can't, which is why we're building a team here of 2, 4, 6, 8 people that all agree with each other. That's
Yes,
our thing.
That's
Again,
our thing are objective, in reality, detail facts. Oh my God.
On a spectrum of 512, we all independently agree and can be tested outside from a outside scientific community and watch us do this.
Right.
So.
Cool. All right, so let's get some SI out of the way.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of brain drain, but you'll still like the new pattern. So here you go. Let me first start off by saying, here's your default parts. It's not going to be, it's actually very Myers-Briggsy, I guess, ENFP there. But here's what's going on, and here's how it plays out in reality. We call them animals because, fuck you, that's why. But they play out like animal actions, like they're just actions. And if you go to any, kindergarten playground or whatever, you're going to see these 4 actions being played out. Now, use your damn imagination, but these 4 are playing out consistently, and we're all doing it. Animals, humans, we're all doing it. So you go to a playground and you're like, some of the kids are over here taking in and learning new information. They're going after frogs and studying them and whatever the fuck. They're consuming, taking in, learning for the self, right? And then you have these kids over here that are roughhousing. They're just expending energy for the sake of expending energy and doing it with each other. Just, rah, rah, rah. Okay, great. Then you have blast, and then you have these kids over in the corner that are, I want to be the teacher. Okay, you guys sit down and you all do that. And now they're teaching, they're blasting, they're sharing their information. And then you have this other group of kids over here in the corner that are just sitting there quietly, introspecting, processing. And that's the actions that we're all going through each part of the day. This is your particular order. Consume, then play, then blast, and oh my God, you need a little bit more sleep, but then you'll sleep. So it's not that you don't have it, it's just coming after all of these
this comes after, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you get these 2 default, because these are your savior functions, as your lead animal. That's how it works. And then consume, blast is a coin. So you're going to have this as the opposite of this. So these can't be both saviors. This is 1 savior. This is 2 savior. This is demon 1 and demon 2. So let's put your parts down here. Savior 1, savior 2. This is referring to the functions that are next to it. And then jumping over here into the animal section, that gives you consume first. Bouncing down here, blast is the opposite coin. So consume is the introverted version of this coin, and blast is the extroverted version of this coin. We call these the information animals because it's taking in information, blasting out information. Then the second one is play because it's extroverted, and then sleep, which is introverted. Play and sleep are the energy coin of the animals. So that's just like it sounds. Play is expending energy for the fuck's sake of expending energy. Sleep is preserving energy, stopping, introspecting, blah, 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 blah. So for your saviors for that, you get savior 1, and then you go right down the order, savior 2. The second savior of these animals, because it's asking your brain to use that function in order to create that action, it's going to activate this one. It sort of brings it up because you're using it a lot. So it jumps back over to the function set and activates this. Activation just means awareness, usage of, interest in, blah, 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 blah. Then you also get activation on blast. You're skipping sleep here. Just an, oh my God, that one's going to be needed in your life. So again, activation, same thing. You're going to like to preach, teach, share your message.
It's kind of the hobby.
Hobby. That one always acts as a hobby. It's still a demon, but something that a lot of times they'll like to show off. And that means, oh my God, not an IJ.
Yeah, so it's like a double not IJ. It's the organizing and the introspective, just the quiet processing time is the deficit.
Yes.
Is definitely the area to work on. This is why we're coming so aggressively, because when we do this at scale, when we're actually doing this on a larger thing here of actually giving kids, imagine some kid starting off in life, right? Imagine if you're at 19 years old, you can get some kind of objective scientific printout of your personality, right? So something real, not this bullshit Myers-Briggs stuff.
You are the carpenter. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we're just hit and miss all the time. But imagine knowing starting off oh wow, I'm already really, really good at this. And then I need to really watch out for these blind spots here, because your reoccurring problems are going to be that
where the dashes
basically
are.
Here's what your reoccurring problems are going to be in life, is that other people have to control you.
Yes, that. Oh my God.
your life is going to be shut down and limited by other people finally having to put the brakes on you and control you because you don't have that happening yourself.
You're not fulfilling that need in the universe. Therefore, the universe is going to give you a double dose of controlling your ass.
So all of a sudden, for whatever reason, Blind Spot USA, people are all of a sudden mean to you, assholes to you. They disappear. They lock you out. They fire you. They shut you down. And what the hell happened? Because there's that over extroverted gathering going on, and then people going, oh my God, how am I going to process all this? How am I going to limit all this? How are we going to deal with all this? This guy just bringing me more, and then wanting us to organize it.
Right.
And so that's the deficit. So getting that reverse, so imagine somebody who's over gathering and then telling them you need to go gather more, they're just going to implode their damn life.
Oh my God, totally. Just faster. It would just, get them to the recurring
Which
tidal
is
wave
everything.
faster.
This is why the Myers-Briggs works so well. It's everything everybody already wants to hear. The gather guy wants to hear.
He's controlling.
Just tell me that my saviors are amazing. Switch the wording around so I can feel good about doing more about what I really want to do.
Which is why fuck subjectivism. Fuck the tests. Your brain, all of our brains are addicted to pleasure and no pain.
Right.
And guess what the savior functions do? Pleasure. Savior functions mean pleasure. Demon functions mean pain. What do you think you're going to give yourself if you go and take a personality test? It's going to be permission to give yourself more pleasure, which means more savior functions.
It's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's like, and we haven't been able to see this in ourselves until we started. Like, it's
the objective
her
tracking
that helped me. Like, see how strong and aggressive she is? She beating the shit out of me, and then me beating the shit out of her. And
That's why I am so free to be strong and aggressive, because he beat the shit out of me and was like, hey, you're actually a fucking psycho-aggressive bitch. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm caring.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How much triangulation in reality has allowed us to be like, yes, I'm a fucking asshole douchebag. Yes, I'm an aggressive, attacking EJ bitch.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Like, all right, great. Now we can get moving on what the hell are you going to do now that you know.
Right.
That's the goal. What are you going to do now that you know?
Because it's like, we see people like yourself, Jonah, come through. It's like, wow, a lot of potential, a lot of good here. And it's like, it's coming from a position of pain for us, of like going, shit, watching somebody like Jonah getting stuck for another 5 to 10 years, being stuck in a rut, being not able to get out, and then trying to do things to help himself get out, which is making it worse.
Right.
Like, if I could punch this guy even harder to get him to move the other direction and therefore start getting traction somewhere, like, that is...
Now you can actually do something with your life. Because if you stay in subjective land, oh, you're so fucked. God damn it, you're fucked.
So real quick here, we do these things here of the consume is pinging the FI and the NE. So the consume is going to ping that one once, See, real quick here. Play is going to ping the TE and the NE, and blast is going to ping the SI and the TE. And so
you're doubling up.
And we're skipping this last one.
On NE and TE. And all that just means is that, like, no, they're not your saviors. NE and FI are still your saviors. But it just means that you're going to be activating TE a lot. You absolutely can make the tribe happy. You absolutely can communicate with the tribe, explain your understandings. You're going to use that all day
I
long.
would guess it would be what cognitive types is seeing, where they're seeing, extrovert, decider, moving with the tribe, caring about, the FE reading they got. Yeah,
when you combine FI and TE, especially as a double
FE.
decider in the middle, you're going to get a lot of FE action there.
So it could be what they're seeing, who the hell knows?
Yeah, who fucking cares? All right, so this one's interesting. So you have feminine NE, so it's like movable on top of movable, which means you have fucking masculine SI, which is probably what you're seeing in yourself of like, no, I can be really controlling. It's like when you swing, you would. And then also, oh my God, that one, you have to hell. And then, feminine TE.
So that's
those
really,
are
that's really cool, because it's like double feminine,
outer world,
double activated, double extrovert world,
right? And
then double masculine, introverted world. Mm-hmm. The girls like that,
And he's audio.
Yeah. Oh,
he's like, I'm so visual. I visualize constructs in my mind. I'm like, you have no idea how much you audio probably.
Yeah.
That's another thing I notice about the ENFPs that are audio. They don't realize that they take in.
So speaking of girls liking you, right? So here is a group of guys that we've got that we've typed.
He's gonna hate this.
that we've typed.
These are your exact types. And by the way, you're supposed to hate your exact type.
You're going to think we're fucking with you, right?
He's going to fucking hate this.
So, again, these are people that we have typed over the past however many years. No, we've got over 2,000 people objectively typed. We've got lots of people that we've not objectively typed. We've got them wrong. We've thrown them out. We recycle them or whatever.
Yeah, right.
So these are people where we've sitting
done
down.
more than 2,000.
Yeah. We're sitting down. We're usually doing like 10 at a time. And we're going, okay, when we get people the exact same number, we go, wow, that's interesting. And we just throw them in these Google Docs. And we just let them build up over time. And so there's a whole other process we have of like sorting it and checking it and rechecking it. And
his point is we do not type based on visuals.
We do not type based on visuals at all in any way, shape, or form. But what has gotten interesting over the time is that as these docs start to grow, sometimes people tend to look alike. It's a little interesting. Now, we don't have a spot on our checklist anywhere for facial stuff.
None.
Because it's not consistent. Sometimes
it's anecdotal, and you can definitely fuck it up really easily. Plus, oh my God, plastic surgery, whatever.
Right.
You know?
So these are all people that we have objectively typed over the years that happen to be the same number as you.
He's going to be so annoyed.
Hey, look, there's your buddy. There's that sleazebag alpha.
We are not trolling you.
I know.
That is your exact type.
There's that sleazebag alpha guy.
That you really hate.
Yeah. And why would you? You know,
and
why wouldn't you?
Isn't it funny that he thinks that Dario Nardi is an INTJ? It's like, you would. You're literally like the exact same type, except Dario's double feminine.
Yeah, I know. So let's go over this. Let's process this for a second.
I love it.
So first thing with Owen being a sleazebag, absolutely. I mean, the guy's just like...
I hated him when I first... but now I just adore the guy.
Well, let's define our terms here, because we kind of skip over this. Yes, the pickup artist side of it is pretty ridiculous.
Duh.
That's pretty duh.
Duh.
The self-growth side that he does,
he's unbelievably life-changing in his understandings of how the human behavior works.
Not that he's going out and picking up 21-year-olds. Not
obviously,
not that.
Ew. Yeah. Obviously...
Yeah, when you...
But like step outside, like no one is perfect, but like what can you learn from each individual? This guy's a goddamn EP who sleep last and has built a structure for his life so that no one is having to control him because he built that for himself. Consistency, which is the death of the fucking EP, is, oh my God, mundane and in a rut, and consistency is the worst thing ever. He built it for himself, so the outside universe didn't have to impose that on him. We admire the hell out of that guy for that.
It's hard, Jonah, because it's like when we're going on our hero's journey, a big part of it is finding mentors in the outside world. And so after when you're done with Tony Robbins and everybody else, you're like, who else do I follow? And there's like Gary Vaynerchuk and this guy Owen. There's like all these imperfect douchebags out there. You're like, where's like the real people I can follow? And it's like, it doesn't get much better than this. It's like, what good can I find from this guy or this guy or this guy?
And once you play that game, the world opens up to you. It's just amazing how much good you can find from him. He's changed my life. There's so much about him that I had to study. I have Demon FI, so it's like I studied the hell out of this guy to know, how are you doing that? How are you building so much strong confidence? It's amazing, and it's beautiful what you can get from somebody once you start seeking the positivity instead of, I don't like that.
Depending on what your goals are. If your goals are to become a grown-up and to run a business and to be profitable and objective and have a family and have something consistently in the sensory world that can be built on, trusted, and repeatable, then you're going to need other role models to go, oh God, this is so hard.
That's how you get out of your head.
How do I get out of my head? How are you guys actually doing this? Oh, you're doing that? That's horrible. Oh God, that's what I got to do. But if the goal is just be smarter and better than the other guy and run in circles, then, play by your own rules, right?
Right.
That's the big dividing line.
Subjectivity versus objectivity.
When we got thrown into business, that was a huge ass kick for us because it was now very objective. Either you're paying the bills or not. And things just get real hard after that because you got to break away all these mindsets, right?
So those are the same exact type as you. Aaron Paul, Bill Burr, they're one click off. These guys actually have sleep activated, so they have it when it's a pretty big difference when you see these two guys. A lot of sleep energy in this guy.
And let me grab over the doc. So your buddy Dario Nardi, we don't have a whole lot on his exact little subtype because he's the same. God damn it, he's the same as you.
Same as you, sleep last, but he has He's double feminine. God damn, Brandon and him look like
I know.
twins.
And you get these lookalikes
Yeah.
going on with the typing. Even the teeth, the lineup of the teeth
interesting.
is the same. And we'll see that consistently as these groups start to grow, that a lot of facial stuff will line up. For example, here's just a larger breakdown. This is
your doc right here.
So here's your row down here, the most extroverted of this group.
Right.
And this is my brother right here. And notice this. So here's like a slightly more introverted version of you, and a more introverted version of you, and then
the
an
most introverted
version. One thing that's interesting about this doc is the red hair.
I know,
like
right?
It starts in the more introverted. They get the red in the beard. This guy's got red in his beard. Red, then more red, and then even more red.
Right, it's very interesting.
And this is not happening in any other...
There's like another ISFP
doc that
where they all have red hair. We're like, what the fuck?
And so
now, this is just our limited data set, but it's still fucking cool. Like, what the hell? It's interesting. But no, we don't say like, oh, there's a redhead. They're automatically in this doc. No, it just, that is what ends up happening.
And honestly, Jonah, like, the facial stuff has made it harder for us to get the same number because, like,
you get distracted. You have to unbias yourself, and you have to continue to be like objective about it.
I know. Well, like when
have to prove their actual recurring patterns.
I know, because I'm watching Jonah's video come in and going, oh my god, he reminds me of this group or this people or whatever, and I'm biasly wanting to go in this direction.
I know.
Is my partner also biasly going?
I thought he looked like these guys, and this guy.
So the facial stuff is actually a lot of times hard for us to get the same number because it allows our biases to get out of control. Oh, he looks like this guy. It must be that guy.
Right.
And one of us is making that mistake and the other's not. We get the number off and then it's wrong.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's really tough. But
crazy.
The thing that has been beneficial the most for us that we're seeing we'll be able to do this over time, which is why we're looking for more people that can really get in and help us with this objective game, is that here's the real fun part. It's not the life advice that we give. What the hell do we know about how you should live your goddamn life or whatever, right? And it's not that you know how to live your life, or I know how to live my life, right? It's like, we look at it like, say you own the new smartphone, right? Like, how do you really get to know that phone? Do you know it from reading the instruction manual?
No.
Like, say this is the instruction manual.
Right.
Like, does that really help?
Great, thanks for the censoring.
Not really. It doesn't really help you. It's like, no, I want to talk to 100 other people that have the exact same phone model as me, and I want to hear their life stories of the pros and cons of how does this phone really work. So, like, when you're able to kind of, this takes a lot of time. This is what a lot of our work we want to distill down. I'm like, imagine this in the future where we can really process all of these guys' life, right?
Right.
And like at scale. We need to get at least 50 to 100 of these people and then go through and really own and understand their lives and then pull out the data from their lives. And we're seeing...
How did this guy win? How did this guy win? How did this guy win? How did this guy win?
And there's so many interesting patterns that are appearing. Like, for example, if you're a male and you're in this group, there is less than a 1% chance that you'll be gay.
Yeah, we had like somebody that was bisexual.
If you're a female...
It's like over 60% or 70%.
That's insane.
Like transgender too. There was like 4, 5?
In this one doc, I won't show you that.
We won't show you the female doc because privacy
of people, but like,
holy shit.
Yeah, and that's only happening in a few of these spots where the LGBT will be spiking in certain types.
Right.
Again, like, we're not looking for that. We're just as the groups are growing, we're like, this is weird, this is weird, this is weird, and it's just showing up in the data sets. So imagine being able to pull all the info from these large data sets over the years, and then give it to that 19-year-old kid from a very objective scientific way of going, okay, kid, you're 19, here's going to be your strengths and weaknesses, kind of going through the personality profile bullshit, right? And then going, by the way, here's statistically your future. If you're a female, there's a 60% chance you're struggling with LGBT issues. And like, oh my God, how'd you know, right? If you're a male, chances are you might have red hair somewhere. And then you'll name your dog this, and like, we'll see a bunch of whole very weird patterns, right?
They all have these.
But then we're going about, you're probably going to think you're a very introverted and very thing and this and that, and you're going to be struggling.
If you're in this doc, you typed yourself as an INTJ. Just like the chances are 90%.
Right, whatever. But then being able to go like, here's other people that have been on the same journey with the same parts as you, and here's how they've overcome it. It's like, here's heroes. Like, say you don't want to use him as a hero. Fine, doesn't matter. It's like, here's different people that you can aspire to be like, or different people you can look at and go, I don't ever want to be like that guy. Great. Maybe you don't ever want to be like this guy. Great. Then you can go, I don't want to go that direction. I really like this guy or this guy or this guy, and I want to go that direction.
Right.
How did he get to where I want to be in life with the same general parts that I have? Therefore, I can now kind of follow those SI steps, right?
That is the, what are you going to do with your type? What the fuck cares at this, at that, I'm this type. It's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, life is way too short to spend just going blah, 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 this type, that type. I want to punch you in the face because these types are different, you know. Nah.
Yeah.
It's building an objective goal, having something worth meaning in this life that you're putting your energy and effort into, and then balancing your little dashes there on the dashboard so that you can attain that goal.
Yeah, man. And just one last stupid piece of advice, just to go over known information one more time. One thing that I would really recommend that could really help you out a lot is taking a little break to go study the subjective versus objective game. Again, I've tried to put as much best resources as I could from my journey of what I've kind of went through, going through that, and really seeing the benefit of working with others, working with a team, working with numbers, working with facts, working with reality, getting things out in the black and white. The hard part is like, you have all these good concepts and imaginations, and a lot of that gets squished from the facts and the accountability. But it's like, if we don't have people imagining and being good at stuff and having possibilities and dreams and all this kind of almost like supernatural type abilities, like that then that drive is what then creates something for the next generation. And then got to get honed down with the
You can imagine the car, but if you never make it real, then fuck you for imagining something that is so good and beautiful and wonderful that never becomes a reality for the next generation.
Right.
That's it.
So there's a lot of people out there that are really good at the ST, they're really good at the machine, they're really good at the boring stuff. There's not a lot of people out there that are really good at what you're good at naturally. Being able to see these patterns, being able to see all this abstract stuff, being able to see the fucking value of it so intensely like you do.
Yes, that's
There's
true.
not a lot of people out there that can do what you're doing. It's then, hey, can you now take that over to these SI assholes and work in the objective method? Because that is then when something really gets made for all time.
Totally. All right. Well, it's been great getting to know you. I'm sure we'll get lots of sleepless emails from you.
Yeah, man. And we're in Portland. Let us know if you're ever coming down.
Yeah.
Love to hang out sometime.
Yeah, totally. All right, Jonah. Talk to you soon.
All right, dude. Bye.
Bye.